Uh, what is it now? Okay, GM everyone. Welcome back to the Anchor Founder live streams. And your host here, Inspiration. It's been like, I think, 700 years since the last episode. But, okay, we're back now. Let me try to make, I want to see what this looks like. A minute. That's how I go to go. Just let me know if the background music is too loud. Let me try to bring in chat here. So today we'll be going into what everybody has touched on Solana. Okay, if you don't know what this is the Anchor Founder, and it's a series of live streams where I just come live and talk about some important Solana topics that are important to Solana builders, for founders, for technical founders, CTOs, and coding devs, coding founders, basically. If you write code on Solana, you will most likely want to be here. Mostly, you get net sniped. If you're new to Solana, you would want to understand what's going on here, and I try to break things down to the simplest form, best to best of my knowledge. Let's just get started. I want to talk about accounts today. 1 minute. Let me do. Okay, and then the blank canvas off. But aha. So today I want to talk about accounts. So, message in the chat. Right, the better part. Accounts and yes, this is better. I want to talk about accounts on Solana. What is an account? And if you're here from EVM world or basically anywhere, what do you think an account is essentially? Let me know in the chat if you want to chat. But then I think I need to share this to more people to see. How many guys? Uh, should have done this before I started talking, but that's what I get when I'm rusty. But we'll pick up the pace. We'll pick up the pace. I might leave stop now. Share this to uh, the Anchor founder. Let's see. Let me see. Let me see. Co-founder. Just copy this to people that are willing to come up. Uh, I'm gonna tell you guys. Okay, I think I've sent. I've done a little bit of broadcast to people that will be interested in looking this up. So I was saying accounts. Yeah. So okay, let me see if we have anybody in the chat. Nobody yet. Let me copy invite link also. Um, okay, that's I think that's finally all I have to do, and we're back to the live stream. Uh, okay. Yeah, yeah. So I was saying, what are accounts essentially? You know, on Solana, the entry point to the blockchain is basically your public key and your private key. Let me bring that up. Okay. The public key, sorry, and your private key. I like create a new tab. Okay, okay. Public key and your private key. So these are the two things you need to have an entry point into Solana, to any blockchain basically. But how does the blockchain actually know? Immediately create this, does the blockchain immediately track this account? Once you have this, let's say let's do it for my terminal now. I'll come over here, not do uh, cd documents, then create a folder called accounts test. Yeah, cd accounts test. So inside this folder, I want to do, let me do Solana keep new. Uh, um, then just what's actually the, yeah, forgot. Help. So now keep a new no derivation power first. Okay. Keep a new Apple file. Let me call it. You know what? Let me just create a new keeper here in this directory. I think uh, I need to give it a name. Some keeper JSON. Uh, yeah. So let's forget what is it. That should be hyphen o none. So yeah, and I didn't make it silent intentionally, so you can see the seed phrase. This is like me just generating a random key pair from the terminal. So he created a key pair inside this. He created a file, a private key, this private key, and this is the wallet address basically of that private key. So does this wallet address exist anywhere on Solana yet? Uh, let's check. But it doesn't. But let's just check. Let's check every known. So what it called? So scan. Uh, Mainnet. Actually, no. It doesn't know about this address, but it does know that is the address is uncov. It means it's not a PDA. It actually has a private key. That's just enough. It's uncov. Yeah. So it doesn't exist on mainnet. Doesn't exist on testnet. Doesn't exist on devnet. Doesn't exist anywhere. So how do we actually make this? How do we actually make this account exist? How does Solana get to know about this account? So it's not an account per se yet, it's just a public key. So how do we make it an account? That's what we're going to talk about today. Our accounts, how do you think about accounts? Basically, that's what we're going to be talking about today. So yeah, you have a public key and you have a private key. But how do you make that into an account? Let me do an arrow. You can have it multi sloppiness. Uh let's see. Let's see. Okay, skip. Skip. I'll do an arrow layout. Uh for no better way to do this, I'll just do it like this. I have an account. Maybe a bit smaller. Okay. This should not be an arrow, it should just be a drawing. Let me make this a drawing. Yeah, I think that that's ugly, but yeah, it explains what we're trying to do. So okay, this music is loud. It's loud to me. I don't know if it's loud to you. Is it? Alright, so this is what makes an account. But before it becomes an account, it needs to be created. This has to go to a program that creates that account. So it needs to be a program that creates the account that makes Solana aware of the account you're creating. And basically, what is an account? What is the component of an account? We're going to look at that also soon. Let me bring this forward. Uh, I think there's this uh, account structure Solana docs. I think it should be on the docs. Yes, accounts on Solana. Exactly. So this is what an account is basically. It's a it's a unit for storing states. But you'll be like, what state am I storing? Am I not just storing? Is it not just would an account just hold a balance? Yeah, you'll be right, but there's so much more that an account holds on Solana. So you have the first one I talked about, Lamports, that's your sole balance. And data will get to that. The owner is who actually owns this account. There's this concept of ownership in Solana. So who owns this account that you're creating? Is this account executable? Like, is it a so you think about accounts as file systems or files on a machine. Just think about it like that, but that's not like the most direct representation. So on a laptop, you could have, on a machine, you could have a TXT file, you could have the exe file. That's if you're on Windows, and you open the executable file and you see a software running, right? That's a file, but it's a software. So that file executable? So is it basically a program? That's what I was trying to say. Does it have executable data inside of it? True or false? Then what's the next airport you're gonna be paying rent? Or when how long is your rent valid till? How number of reports is your rent valid till? So those are the things that are actually inside an account that you see. But how do you see these things? Yeah. So now let's get into that. So let's don't forget we have Lamport, the data. So the data could be anything. Data could be anything you want to store inside of it. If it's that when you create a PDA on Solana, you know you want to store stuff inside of it. Especially with Anchor makes it more easy to relate to be able to relate with that. You create a PDA, then you have a state that you want to store inside that account. So that is what this vec is. Just a vector of bytes of UH, yeah? The vector of bytes. That's what your data is. And the length is known. But before we get into all the deep before we get deeper into all of it, let me go into showing you what I was trying to talk about. So on Let me clear this. So let me switch my Solana config get. Is anybody in the room yet? Okay, I'm on let's see. I will rotate this. Solana config set devnet. I think that is hyphen URL. Okay. Hyphen URL devnet. Okay, now we're on devnet. Mm. So the account we just created now, let me do Solana address, then the path to that key pair is, I think you call it some key pages, yeah. So the wallet, the address is 90x. I'll copy this and I'll do Solana account. Because I want to check what is inside this account. Basically, the account, does it have anything? Is it an account? Is the address an account? Is it a registered account or Solana? So that's what I want to do now. Solana account and that address. Let's see. Not found. That means this account, this address that you provided does not exist on this cluster on DevNet here. So how do we actually make it exist? One way, the easiest way, and I'll show you, the easiest way to do, you create an account, which is a system account, a different type of account based on who owns the account. So if the system program owns the account, call it a system account here. So now let me create a system account by just doing an airdrop of, let me do 0.5. I don't know if the airdrop still works, but let's see. So now airdrop 0.5 to this account. Yeah, let's try again, and hopefully this one goes through. Why did it take so long if it was gonna fail? Uh, if it still fails, yes, it fails. So let me just transfer Solana. I think it's transfer. There's a transfer. The address, then the amount. I think yes, the amount, and I will allow unfunded recipients. I think yeah. So we successfully transferred 0.5 Lamport sold 0.5 sold to this account. So let's check that. Let's check the Explorer for what actually happened. So now let's put that testnet no on devnet. Paste that in there and see. So legacy mode. Now let's inspect everything that happened inside the transaction. I'll do that from here. System program transfer, system program logs, commit, signer, legacy mode, CTX map. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for, but yeah. Uh, transfer from this to this for 0.5 so, but instruction 150. So first, let me see. Program just success. Okay, this is not creating the account yet, but it is under the hood. What's actually going on? It's assigning an owner to, you see, it's interactive with the system program. The source is the person that is sending the Lamport. This is who the Lamport is going to, and you see it's writable because we actually modified the balance of the user. But when we do an ATA, you'll actually see what's going on. I think what's going on here is hidden from the system program transfer. But if we do a token transfer, you will actually see what's going on there. Like I want to be able to see where the account is created, what program is interacted with. I think I used to be able to see those before. But yeah, let's just roll with it. So now let's check the account on chain now. Let's see Solana account now. And yes, we can see this is the pub key. Now we can actually find the account, but it now exists on DevNet. We have an owner. We know if it's executable. No, it's not a program. And this is the next rent epoch here. So basically, we can now see. everything about this account, like we pointed out here from the docs. Say an account would have land ports, data, the owner, is it executable, and rent airport. So let's see if that's what we have. We do have. Let me try to show this a bit. Yeah, we do have land port that's called in this case called balance. We do have an owner. Yeah, we do have an owner. And is this account executable? No. What's the rent approach for this account? So we have this, but data, there's no data inside of it because it's just a system account. We have not stored any data inside it. And regularly you don't usually store data inside your system accounts. Uh so yeah, let's now try to do we're still going to explore what's actually happening under the hood. But we see now that the owner is the system program. If you come to the Explorer, I think we saw that also. Come to the Explorer and we check. But I think that's what I was looking for. No, this is not what I was looking for. We come to the Explorer and check uh, this one. I think this one. Do not hide the details. Okay, yeah, it's directed with this program, system program. So I want to check what that account is online. Yeah, so you would see this is an account 11111111. Yeah, the owner is native loader, and what this account is a system program account. So how do we know if an account has okay? What I was trying to explain previously. So if I come here and I try to inspect what is inside this account. Let me paste that here. You should see, yeah. Now we should see this is the pub key. That's 0.000. So the owner is native loader. It's executable because it's a program. Yeah. Previously, this one was not executed because it's just a regular account for receiving the system account for receiving. So, but this is executable because there's program data inside of it. An account could have data and not be executable. That means just like a PDA that you say store something inside of it, but it's not a program. But this in this case, this is a program, so it is executable and it has some data inside of it and it's pointing to where uh the program data actually lives. But you see now we just have 14 bytes inside of it. So 14 bytes here. And if we look closely, we can see we want to look. We can come back to that to see where the instructions are inside this account where they actually stored. But we're going to get to that. We may get to that later. So let's just keep going with all right. So we've gotten to know that there's a shape of an account. Yeah, I'm trying to see if someone's trying to join the stream. So there's a shape of an account and the all of these are encoded bytes inside of it. So all the data that's basically inside of an account. Yeah. So what actually went what was happening under the hood when we created this account? So let's do something different now. Let's do one with with an ATA. An ATA is basically a PDA. I think I did not mention what a PDA is. I've just been saying PDA. A PDA is a program drive address. So it's an address that belongs to a program. So you create an address just like we did initially, but the owner is not the system program. So it is not an account for receiving SOL, even though if you send SOL into the account to receive it, but the primary purpose of that account is not to receive SOL. That's basically what the PDA is. And the PDA does not have a private key. It's just a public key without a private key. Trying to throw that out there. Hmm. So I want to transfer. I think I have some Solana address SPL token. SPL token accounts NTS. Yeah, these are the means that I've created for myself previously. So I want to transfer SPL token transfer transfer this token to that our user. So where's the user at now? The user we created, this guy that we created here. I want to transfer 10 units of that token to this user. First thing, this should throw an error. Yeah, recipient associated token account does not exist. So the token does not live inside your system program. It needs a separate account that is associated with that token account, that's associated with that system account to hold your tokens. If I'm sending you USDC, your USDC does not stay on your wallet address or your other fundamental account. It does not stay on that first account. You create an account that is associated with that account, then your token stays inside of that place. Why? For speed and parallelism. Because if you have different accounts, you want your account to communicate with a different with the program, but and you want to do two things at the same time. So you don't want one action to store the other action. You want to send, so I want to send USDC. So there are two different accounts for that. You could do both at the same time because those two accounts are not talking to each other. Yeah, they're not basically the same accounts. But your private key still has access to both, but the different accounts will be loaded into the instruction handler at the same time, and the two instructions can be processed at the same time without being sequential, without the sole transfer executing first. They are waiting on for the token transfer. They get so to make things happen at the same time, parallel instruction execution. That's one reason why we have ATAs, but so we might get into that soon. But let's just stay on the surface and enjoy while we still dig deeper into it. All right. So I tried to make a transfer to this user. I had to make a transfer to this user, and you would immediately see this is the sender, that is my account. This is the recipient, but the recipient's associated token address. That's a PDA that belongs to this user for this token. So per token, there's an ATA per token. So that's what an ATA is. An ATA is basically a PDA, but for token accounts, for token for receiving tokens. Uh, and now we will just add a tiny flag. It says fund recipients behind that. So if we add the flag that says fund recipients, it should execute that instruction. Let's go now. And you immediately see that there's a different account, AVR3SD. But that is the associated token account for this token that belongs to the user I was sending to. Like I said, the token does not live inside of this account, it lives inside ATA. Okay, so let's inspect this now and see what was going on that hood. Let me inspect this. This is going to get more technical, but let's still enjoy the surface of it. Okay, yes. So there are different instructions there are three instructions here that were called set compute unit, transfer check, then create idempotent. So we'll get into each one of them. First, let's get into this. Yeah, it's more like it. Okay, okay, okay. All right. So this is what I was looking for previously. First, when you send tokens to an account, the account needs to be created. Yeah. So now we are going to invoke this program, system program. You'll notice that previously for the regular SPL transfer we did, you could not, it was hidden from us, so we did not see that there was a creation there. It was just sending from this to this, and it just does it anyways. But for an ATA now, we first need to create the program, create the account. I just close that. It's, looking for transfer checks, looking for set complete units. Uh, where we okay. So firstly, we want to know the account size that Okay, hold on. Let's start from here. We create the account. That means we're interacting with system program to create the account. And this is the account's address because we can know the address up front. We're going to get to that. PDS. This is who is sending the token. This is who is sending token and is going to pay for the account creation because every account you're creating, you want Solana to be aware of the account. Because you have to pay for the account creation. And we're going to get into how this accounts, what this account looks like in the validator, where the accounts are actually stored. Because now, your private key and your public key, where you at? The private key and your public key, I think it's valid. Your private key and public key does not hold. Your private key just is just basically where you at? Let's cut some key pair JSON. This is basically what your private key is. It's just longer than few things. If you add more, if you add more soul to an account, this doesn't change. Your private key does not change. It's still your private key. So where is this data actually being? Where is the data stored? Because the data needs to be stored somewhere, right? Because it's an account. An account is like a file. Look at it like that. So where is this file? Where is this file living? Your file lives on your computer, right? So where is that computer going to be, and how do you read from it? So we're going to get into all of those deep conversations today, and this might be a multi-part series. Also, we'll still have to do. We have to monitor and trace what actually the part of the part of the validator that tracks all of this. So, like I said, this is this is a net sniping uh, uh, live stream, but we're going to talk about fairly complex stuff. So we're just still on the surface now. Let's enjoy. Let's everybody enjoy. Let's see what's the reaction like on uh on Twitter. If we have chats. Uh, okay, no questions yet. Okay, let's get back to this. So when you have more lamp port or when you have more data inside your program, inside your account, it needs to be there needs to be a record of that. Yeah. So where does that record live? We'll talk about that in a minute. Are there any requests? I'm trying to see if there are any requests to join the live stream I've not attended to. I don't think there are any. Okay, not yet. Um, where are we? Okay, accounts, not any transaction. Aha. So we created a transaction. Why is this always doing that to me? Let me see if I can suppose. Aha. So now, once we create the account, then we we do something different. Once the account has been created, we now we initialize an owner for it. So we change the owner to now be the token program because this is no longer it's no longer a system program account. We want the account to be able to receive SPL tokens. So we have to change the owner to be the SPL token. So this is token keg. This is the regular SPL token address, token program address, token KG. And we are passing this account to, let me check if there's a IDL to see, is there an IDL on DevNet for this account, for this program? Let me see. Oh, I want to do Explorer, Solana.explorer. I think it's Explorer.solana. 1 minute. That's where you can see IDL. Solana Explorer instead of SourceCard. I don't know, I'm just explorer.solana.com. Yeah, that's what I need. So I'll come here and I'll do explorer.solana.com. Aha. Okay. Program idea not not uh not uploaded. It's uh yeah there is actually it's actually okay. So sorry, I think this is tiny. Let me increase the fonts. So the instruction we were looking to interact with was create idempotence. A minute. Okay. I want to see this system program. Was it system program? No, it was the token program, and we interacted with initialize immutable owner. So we created. We are trying to say uh, the token program should now be the owner of this. I'm trying to look for this one. The token program should now be the owner of this account. So that is this function called initialize immutable owner, initialize multisig, no, initialize immutable owner, exactly. So initialize the immutable owner extension for the given token account. This one is the fail check. I'm saying you will forever be the owner of this account. That's basically what we're trying to tell token program. Yeah. So we're transferring ownership from the system program to the token program. So the account we're passing is the account that we want to transfer. So that's why I see interacted with initialize immutable program. I will break this PC. Interacted with initialize immutable owner. Then we pass this account basically. So once we're done with that, we set the owner to be the token program. Now the token program can initialize the account for uh to set the mint that belongs to and every other thing. So we're going to get into that one also. So initialize account three is basically saying this is going to be this token address. That's the token, that's the mint, and this is the account, and this is the original owner. So just associating both of them together and the amount of space that's required. How do we know the amount of space required? Because yeah, we did get account data sites for this. So it's just immutable owner. So if it's a regular immutable owner transaction instruction they are sending, there'll be a size for that account. So for token accounts, we can check that up later. But yeah, just trying to drive the point that all accounts start off as system accounts, then the ownership is transferred to whatever program needs to have control over the account. I think we are done with all of that. Token program, system program, token program instruction. Yeah, okay. Uh, 1 minute. Mm, my camera stopped for a reason. Let's see if we can get it back up. Okay. So I have to email me, guys. 1 minute. I want to restart my camera. I think just stop for whatever reason. Yeah, I think we're back now. Sorry, guys. I had to restart my camera. It went off. My cat had something to do with that. Yeah. Okay. So what were we? We're talking about account ownership and all. So yeah, that's basically uh what goes on the on the surface level for accounts, and let's see, trying to see if I'm missing out anything. Okay, wait, wait, wait. So now you know when you create an account, what actually happens, the ownership model, and if there's going to be data inside our accounts. Let's say for a PDA, for example, do I have any DevNet account that I want to interact with here? Mm, uh, okay, okay. Let me quickly do. Let me do a. Do I have Anchor? Yeah. Let me use Quasar, unofficial Quasar in it. Some new accounts. Yeah. Solana, test language, Rust, yes, okay, TypeScript. Yeah. Full state. Skip initializing. I want to show the what I was talking about with accounts. Yeah. So it should just do. So let me code some new accounts. Let me open that up real quick. Uh, Bump up the fonts. Go to source. The so we have an instruction that just called this initialize function. I don't know if this one. So call the initialize function. Set the instruction. Initialize. Yeah. All right. So what I want to do now, let me just put it aside the same place. And Rust Analyzer is still mm, struct I accounts. Then I'll do distributor. Yeah. Account. I think it's this one. Distributor is one. I think that's correct, and I'm sure I'm wrong. I'll save for this minute. 1 minute. Let's do a pub some data one. I'm using some uh age. The age of the user is a U16. Then pub can jump is a bull, pod bull. Yeah. Now I think there's a problem with the account. I think it should be count. Then is it discriminator plus one? I think this is it. Yeah, still have muscle memory. This is Quasar, by the way. This is not Anchor. So let's do. Yeah, we're gonna pass in the uh, account to create is gonna be an I account. Uh, it's gonna be an account of type I account. It's going to be mutable. Uh, let's see, call them more. I think it's yeah accounts mute. I'm sure I wrote something wrong there. But let's see. Let's see. Mute. I want to do basically not even mute. Let's just do init init and payer is payer equals payer. If you don't want to do that. Okay. Mm, and it's going to create this account. Then inside the account, I will just do. I think it can do what's the word? Uh, a minute. Okay, let me just try to create it here. So just pouring some data. Several accounts to create. Dot it's called uh dot can jump. Let's go set inner. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So this should be set inner. I think inner set inner. Oh, set inner. Then I can call dot set inner, and inner is gonna be a I account inner. Age is 20. Can jump is false, whatever reason. False dot into I I know. It's, okay, so this is what we're gonna do. Basically, we're just going to create this account immediately. Immediately, we call this initialize instruction. We're going to create this account here on DevNet. I hope there's enough time to do that. Let's see. Mm, so the test inside tests pair, and let's do um I mean, let me just make it a PDA from seeds. Uh, seeds. Uh, the grade account, and there is an address. I think. I think. Then we'd come here and do address. Let's. Uh, okay, I think seeds. Do I even need to? Yeah, let's do that. A minute. I forgot how the semantics for that is. CD, CD, Guido projects, Guido Arena, Guido Vault. Yeah, yes, I will do CD source. Yes, I will do cat state RS. I think CD BTK. Okay, then how I'm using it is let me do ls cd instructions ls cd initialize no, register agent register register okay cats cats register agent rs. So let me see how I'm passing the account. I forgot. Been uh yeah, uncheck the account, not this one. Then uh cats, let's do initialize them. Why not? Or let's do deposits. Deposits should have what we're looking for. Yeah. So this is what I was looking for. Agent seeds. Address is agent seeds. Ease of II accounts. Let me just call it account B to prevent account I. Let's do account I. account I, yeah, I account I, then seed. Seed is, if I didn't know what the seed is, so the address would be payer, payer, basically. Okay. Account I, uh, I account I. Okay. Payer is, oh yeah, the address. Okay. Account I inner. And I think we should be good to go. Then we'll test. Let's see what's wrong with the test. Test. Let's, you know what? Let's just, let me quickly speed this up with Claude to, uh, right, up the account missing in the test. So let's see, we can quickly do that for a test switch. Blah. Chat. We have somebody in chat. Uh, so let's, yeah, guys. GMJK, GM Codex, GM DP. Yeah, yeah. All these guys are Solana OGs in the building. All right, so let's see if we can quickly spin that up. It's repetitive work, so let's just have the agents do that part. Yeah, is it done? Oh yeah, it's doing something. And my camera went off again. I'm just noticing that. A minute. Okay, I think it's done. Close, close this up. So you created, yeah, the account. Yeah. So let's run this test. J agents are good for that. This kind of stuff. They they can quickly do repetitive tasks. So let's see. Uh, Quasar test. Quasar build. It's to build before testing. Yeah. Okay. No errors. So now let's do Quasar. Let me deploy this to DevNet. Quasar deploy. Let me deploy this to DevNet. And once we're on DevNet, I will create an account. Let me log the account also. Yeah, I'll deploy it to DevNet. So let me log the account. Print ln. This is test environment, so I can do print line. Uh, uh, account to create. Let's borrow that. Not take ownership of it. Borrow that. Yeah. I hope all is good. Aha. So let me just say now. I modified the code to show the created account. Now make it work on DevNet. I want you to switch to DevNet by switching to use an RPC instead. So let's see. Let's make it do that. This is the program address. If I come over to DevNet and check, I should see that the account was created on DevNet, not mainnet beta, DevNet. Yep. Yes, I will see it was created and deployed. It's not verified. I don't need to verify it yet. But I could, but that's not the aim of what we're doing now. So let's just get back to our test. Uh, is it at least another remember work for because blah 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 blah. Just get it done, bro. I'm waiting a while for it to switch to using DevNet instead of Quasar SVM. I want to make a point for. I think I already made that point, but let's see. Let's see. Where the just numerous one test. Bro, just do the work and stop ranting to me about it. I Let's see. Mm, Sit down. Still thinking, bro. Are you thinking for that? Okay, yeah, yeah. Now we're on DevNet. There's a lot of moving parts. Let me see if to do cargo test. Uh, the test initialize. You know what? I'm just gonna click this button right there to save me the stress. Okay, so running cargo test. Leave no run off like that. Release my cache and let me run my test. Save a player. Uh, Come on, come on, come on. Compare opposite inside. Just do the work. Just finish up what you're doing and let me run my test, please. Okay. Failed because there is no settlement. Uh, yes. Let it just use. You know what? I'm just going to do. Yeah, I'm going to do the env. Then inside the env, I'll specify what's it called in the test. It expects me to set devnet pay keeper in env. See, I've just that's the annoying thing about. Let's assume we're on the bright side today. and it stored some keypair.json if it can find it now. So now to make it know that we have the env. Okay, let me just copy this. Let me just copy this then, making my life easy for me. Yeah, 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 yeah. I should do what's it called? Uh, I should just do this instead. I am gonna paste this here. What's that? No, no, no. Is this one? That's what I'm saying. This one. Yeah. Let's see if that works. Do I have enough lampots to deploy this program inside? I'll be to test the program. Let's see. Let's just see. It should. It should finish the test. Okay. Cool. It created the account. Now you would see that if I inspect this account, cd dot forward slash forward slash cd dot forward slash cd dot forward slash scored something. Yeah. No. What was it called? Uh, cd. Okay, yeah, we were in account stuff. Yeah, account stuff. Let's. All right. So if I do Solana account and I pick this address, this the PD that was created. Yeah. So if I inspect this on DevNet, you will now see, as a matter of fact, that we have this is the address, this is the balance, this is the owner. The owner is a program, is not executable. Then what size of data is inside of it? 4 bytes. Let's confirm that. We come to initialize down here. You will see, as a matter of fact, we have 2 bytes. This is okay. This is a bool is 1 byte. This is two. That's three. And here there's something called discriminator. It adds a discriminator. If you inspect what Quasar is doing, Quasar is going to add a I think a discriminator. Okay, yeah, the bump rather. Quasar is adding the bump. So that's 1 plus 2, that's 3 plus 1, that's 4. So if I come over here, you would see size is 4. See, right? Size is 4. So that's why we have, that's why it's also saying there's just 4 bytes inside this PDA. So exactly, that's basically what I was aiming for, to show you that when you create an account, once you create a PDA, it's just basically a vector of bytes that is stored inside that account. And in our own case, this is the vector of byte that we stored. Byte one, this is U16 is 2 bytes. That's 8 times 2 is 16. U16 is 2 bytes. A bool is 1 byte. That's 3. And the bump is storing the bump also over here. Yeah, storing the bump also, that's plus 1. That's 4. Yeah, so that's basically what the size of this account is. But initially it should be 3. We understand that, but because it's storing the bump, it's making it 4 bytes basically. So yeah, and now I'm satisfied that I was able to show that. So this is Quasar. It looks similar to Anchor, but just a better way to, once it's live, it's live, but it's not audited yet. Once it's audited, it makes writing program feel, like, what's the word? I don't know the word for it, but it just feels better. Okay, now let's get back to what we've been able to cover today. Talked about public key, private key, the program that handles all of that before it creates an account. So once interacts with the program creates the account and sets the appropriate owner. Then one more important thing that I wanted us to get into, but I think that will be pushed to tomorrow is this: what is actually happening under the hood, accounts DB? Where is the account stored? Where is the account stored? And can we see and can we also monitor when I create an account, when I create a PDA, when I save it, can I see that it is being stored? We can monitor that with eBPF. We're going to get into all of that in this series. But for now, we talked about accounts, what an account is on Solana, account ownership, and all, and all, and on, and on. So I will share this material in the God. Let me see. I share in the chat. This is Prince's book, by the way. What page was I? This is page. This is uh page 90. So let me get back to the top. This is Prince's book, Engineering Solana. It's for trying to understand the deeper things that's going on inside Solana. So a system level approach to understanding Solana essentially. But what we did today was trying to soften up the surface layer a bit before we start digging deep into what's going on under the hood. So we'll be going into uh the accounts DB, then monitoring the accounts DB. When you create a PDA, what is done, how does it allocate storage for your program for your account, what's the size of an account, and all and all and all. Tomorrow is what? Tomorrow is Thursday. Uh, but for now, let me get back to page 90 and quickly show this just a brief overview of what accounts DB is. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so the accounts DB, uh, uh, as a system, is described as a system that physically stores your fields. So whatever data you pass into an account, this data, this 4 bytes of data that we have here, accounts DB handles how it is stored, where it is stored, how it is appended to the general storage. Because every validator, every node has to, when you ask any node what is inside this account, they should be able to tell you what is inside the account. How do they know? How does the node know where the data you are telling it to look at is? How does it know the size of the data? How does it know what account you are trying to reference? So that's what AccountsDB does, and we'll be going into that more deeply tomorrow. So we can wrap it up here today. I was trying to make it as short and concise as possible. I know we put a lot of information into this one by a short period of time, but yeah, it's cool. Let's do let's do more tomorrow. So tomorrow we're not going to be talking so much about the basics anymore. We're going to be going into net sniping stuff, uh, account files, account cache, the validator. I think I have a copy of Agave in my PC running somewhere. CD, CD, Agave. Yes, I have Agave here. Let's see. We have accounts decoder. We have accounts DB here inside Agave. So we're going to explore accounts DB, how it works, and we probably at the end of the session be able to monitor what's actually going on, when is the function fired, and how long it takes. We're going to not benchmark, we monitor with eBPF, and so that has brought us to the end of today's live stream. GG guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. This has been the Anchor Founder, and welcome back. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back.